Hello, guys. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Sunday. So, had all these like really cool things planned, but we're actually in lockdown at the moment. So, have pretty much fuck all to do. So, I actually started to plan some of our events a little bit earlier than I usually do. And I want to share with you 3 ways you can quickly transform your sales. So, guys, I guess to share probably a little bit of my story on this. So, firstly, like I'm not a natural salesperson. It's not something that, automatically kind of came to me that I was like even super passionate about, more kind of passionate about generating leads and closing sales, but they work hand in hand. If you want to have a 7-figure business, you've got to be good at sales and you've got to be able to replicate your sales team. So in January, we're doing this transformation day for people within the inner circle, where essentially we're transforming their sales process in 3 hours as a team. But I want to share with you 3 things that you can start to do as of next week to improve your sales for January. So the first thing is, guys, you must be using scripts. Okay, you must be using scripts and templates in your text messaging scripts, your email scripts that go out, and also your phone script and your consultation process within the club. Now, when I was kind of first doing this, I was like, hey, I don't want to follow scripts, right? I just kind of wanted to wing it. And it's definitely not the best way to do it. If you ever want to replicate your sales team, if you want to be able to teach someone how you close, is you must have processes and you must have frameworks that you need to follow. Now, guys, of course, with a script, it shouldn't sound robotic, right? You use your tonality and your pacing, right? And pausing. So it doesn't just sound like you're reading off a piece of paper, and it's a true art form to be able to do that. But there's certain questions that you must ask along a sales conversation to overcome objections before they pop up, to unravel people's why, like why they're doing what they're doing, and to be able to facilitate turning someone who's maybe slightly interested in your program into a high ticket sale. So you must be following scripts. The next one is, I want you to record your calls and your sales processes, okay? Because when you need to go to, the Andrew Poultons of the world, the Brad Bedfords, the Matt Ryders, who are these incredible salespeople, right? And even if you want to send me your recordings, is you must have it recorded. You can look over everything. You can give yourself feedback. If you imagine, like in NRL, right? They record the games and then they watch them to see where they went well, where they didn't, where they can improve, right? And what the game plan is for the next week, right? And it's the same with your calls. And I've seen this in myself. Like, I've had professional sales coaches along the way, right? And the biggest thing they do, right, is not writing the script. It's actually giving you feedback on the calls that you're doing, right? That's live feedback. So like, hey, you should have said this, maybe position it this way. You cut the person off here, and you learn so much from recording your calls. It's absolutely insane. You can just use Google. You search voice recorder. When you call someone, you put it on loudspeaker. You've got call recording apps and things like that. There's systems that do it, but just make sure you record your calls and your team record their calls and their consultations so that you can give feedback, right? That's the real key thing in growth, and especially in sales, is getting that live feedback. And guys, the last one, right? And it's like a pretty basic one, but you need to make sure you keep your energy levels high. Doing sales is incredibly energy sapping, right? You're giving a lot of yourself, and you're also like listening, you're taking notes, you have to be interactive, right? So you've got to do the basics really well to be a high level closer. You must be fit and active, right? I recommend like doing some training in the morning is absolutely fantastic. It really, really helps me when I'm going through like, sales processes, which I do every single day. You must be sleeping really well. You must be drinking enough water. Don't overload yourself with caffeine so you're like running on edge and you're like jittery all the time. But you must be in abundance of health, right, to close sales very, very consistently and be able to maintain these balanced levels of energy, because sales is very sapping to your energy. You have questions that pop out, and you're following your scripts, and people say no to you, and then that gets you a bit down, makes you feel flat, and then people say yes to you and it makes you feel elated, right? You need to control your emotions. You need to be able to control your levels of energy and do that consistently day in, day out, so that you get to a time where then you're teaching these things to your team, right? And you're bringing in a team to help you with sales. And the same things, you drill these habits into yourself now, then you get in a position where instead of maybe producing a video like this, you're talking to your sales team face to face. You're like, guys, we need to use the scripts. Here's why. These questions. The person said no because of money, because you didn't uncover their financial output and in their like smoking, in their alcohol drinking, in their food. We can overcome it. You didn't create a big enough why. You get to teach your team this stuff, right? You're also getting them to record their calls so you can give them feedback, or you can go to a sales professional to give them feedback. And you must teach your team to maintain their energy so they turn up being their best selves in these sales consultations, which is their chance to help someone and their chance to like absolutely change their life in fitness. But if they go in, they're not sleeping well, they're not, they're drinking too much caffeine, they're going through these crazy energy slumps where they're not turning up to give their 100% and be their best version of themselves, then your sales is going to dip, right? Because sales is very confident, it's confidence based, right? You go in there, you're feeling fit, you're feeling healthy, you've slept really well, you're sharp, you're fucking alert, you've read your testimonials before the call, you're ready to rock and roll, and your sales percentages just increase because it's a confidence thing, right? So guys, I hope that gave you a couple of tips. They're very, very basic, but if you're not doing the basics incredibly well, there is no way you deserve the right for all these like fancy, like crazy sales tactics and overcoming objections and this trickery and tomfoolery that sales professionals tell you that you need to have. Because if you don't have the basics of that foundation, that stuff won't work, right? Everything has its place. Advanced tactics has its place, but without a good solid core, without a good solid basic sales system, those advanced tactics that you're opting in for to overcome every fucking objection imaginable, right? And to learn all these advanced tricks, it won't work unless you're really looking after the basics, which is you have a really strong script, email, text messaging, right? You have a really strong messenger script. You have a really strong script when you're on the phone and a really strong process when you're face to face with someone. You're recording your calls and your conversations, so you're getting that live feedback and you're learning. It's like a football coach reviewing his team. And then also, guys, you're doing the absolute best you can to always maintain level energy balances. You're not going up, you're not going down, and you're learning to really master your emotions for when people say yes, which is exhilarating, and for when people say no, which can be deflating. You're able to overcome. You've got incredible discipline. You've got incredible like nous and poise that you don't let anything throw you off. Guys, I hope that gave you a little bit of motivation. If you're interested in transforming your sales, got a very special day in January within our Inner Circle programs for all of our members where we're transforming your sales in 3 hours. You'll go from wimp to warrior very, very quickly because we're going to break all this down and actually give you all the scripts, give you all the templates, absolutely everything you need to absolutely dominate in 2021. There's a link below if you're interested in that, guys. Just reach out to me anytime.